Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
Jerry.
Linda and Gizmo.
We're the Village's Newcomers, and it's time for...
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
We're going to start off with a shout out. We have met some neat people this week. We bump into them here and there. Sometimes they'll roll by the house when we're out doing yard work, but it's fun meeting all of you, and we appreciate it.
They never stop and help us pick weeds, though.
That's right. They just want to talk. Larkin, and she's all the way from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, sent us a care package. Larkin, that was so sweet. And it was full of stuff like this, like these Maynard's Swedish berries. I love these.
I think it's a lot of the Canadian snacks. And
these are so good.
Snacks. Oh, wow. This box was chock full of candies and chips, and oh my gosh.
Very nice of you, Larkin. Thanks so much. Let's get right to our first question.
Sure.
Alice sent us a question, and it's a good one because a lot of people, wherever you are, in Indiana, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, whatever, you're wondering about when is the time to move down here. Well, Alice wants to know if age 70, maybe even up to 72, is it too old to move here? We don't think it is.
No.
But we went out and we found somebody more qualified to answer that than us. Let's see what she has to say.
I moved here when I was 75. So when you say 70 or 72, I think this would be a good place for you. There's so much to do. There's a lot of exercise programs if you're interested in that, or if you're in with games, but it gets you out of the house. You're not sitting in front of a television 24/7. And I don't know where you live or where you're from or what state you're from, but I will tell you I was from Kansas, and the winters there was about to kill me. And we moved here, no more pain in my joints. The people here are wonderful. They check in on you if you're sick. They're there for you. And you're all in the same boat. Don't be hesitant. If you're good with the warm in the summer, everybody gets out in the mornings. If it's going to be a hot day, in the afternoons you take a nap and you stay inside and do a craft or read or whatever and relax. I couldn't ask for a better place, and I feel so blessed to be here in this community.
That's one of our good neighbors here. We're always amazed at how willing they are to help us out on the blog, and we really appreciate that.
Sure do.
Jason writes in with a question about age also. He wants to know, does the Villages have age requirements for people to come and take a lifestyle visit?
Good question.
That is a good question. Because you don't want to wait until
You're 55.
you're 55 maybe to move, so you want to check out all your options ahead of time. Mm-hmm. How early could you do them? Well, getting a straight answer here sometimes is like going out and finding a diamond in your backyard. It's tough to do.
It's hard to find.
Yeah, it's hard to find one. But I did ask and was told that you don't want to come too early, but you can come before you're 55 for a lifestyle visit. I tried to narrow that down, but I couldn't get it narrowed down. The general idea was 50-ish, but I'll bet you if you're 40-ish and you want to take a lifestyle visit that you could do it. So I also asked him a few other questions about lifestyle. And we could do a whole show on lifestyle. In fact, some of the other bloggers have done that. We have not, because I would like to go in and show you, where they put you up during the lifestyle. We took one and we stayed at Alden Bungalows. Right now, I think they're sending people down to one of the villas in the south section, right. Southern Oaks, which is really nice. But I asked a question about where are they putting up most of the people, and it's still Alden Bungalows. And I think I don't know what the name of the villas are down there, but they're right over the Water Lily Bridge.
Yes, right near it.
Yeah, right near that. So they're putting folks up. I also asked the question, can you come for more than one? And again, I got the answer that ideally they're set for people to come and take one because they give you 2 bicycles. They give you free golf passes. They give you an entertainment voucher sometimes. Lots of little perks. And the people that come the second time don't get those perks.
Oh.
But we definitely know people that have been here twice. And I've even talked to one person that came 3 times.
Ooh. This is from Bob and Heidi. They want to know, are there any organic grocery stores in the villages? And yes, there are. Name a few. There's one called the Green Apple Health Foods. Publix here carries a nice section of organic foods in the Aldi stores. There's a fresh market in Spanish Springs. And there's also places around the villages, like farm-to-table type things, farms. So you're going to find a lot of organic foods here.
That word organic,
Yeah.
I don't like that word. That enables you to charge double for something if you put the word organic in front of it. It's like marine on something. If you get a marine battery, boom. Look at that rabbit.
Wildlife is out. I just saw a beautiful butterfly a minute ago.
Don't look.
And believe it or not, the love bugs are here. And yep.
But back to organic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an excuse to charge you more. You know,
Well, it's supposed to be without chemicals, right? So that's a good thing. They do
Is
charge
it?
more.
okay. People love Gizmo. Like, he doesn't do anything. Why is he so popular? He just lays around. But here's a question for Gizmo. Are you up to answering a question today, sir? Did you get Gizmo? Actually, it's for us, but we'll let him answer it. Did you get Gizmo after you moved to the villages, or was he already a part of your family before you moved? He's so cute, they said. Well, you want to answer that? Go ahead.
Well, it was more than 12 years ago, and we lived back in Indiana. Mom and Dad were still teachers when they got me, and they came up to where I was born, and I was with all my brothers and sisters, and out of all the other puppies, they chose me.
Rebecca asks a real estate question. Do homes in the villages resell well? And she also wants to know, do they appreciate at a favorable rate? Well, that is a subject that we have actually been talking about. We talked with Chad and Jennifer about that just recently, because he's a realtor and he's a part-time owner here and comes back and forth. Yeah. The homes are selling so fast. Rebecca, when we were on our lifestyle visit back in 2018, we wrote down 15 homes that we looked at.
Yeah.
Within 2 weeks, they were sold. I don't even think they're lasting 2 weeks now.
No.
The homes in our neighborhood that have gone up for sale, we have heard so-and-so's putting their house up for sale. Mm-hmm. So we look for it on the Villages app. It never even makes it to the app.
No.
They're sold. Yeah. But just to kind of give you some examples, I went and looked at some homes that have sold, or they sold in the last 10 years, and the listing price that they're for sale for now. In 2012, there was a designer home that was bought for $450,000. It is listed right now for sale for $642,750.
Wow.
That would be about $200,000 profit if they sell it. There's another designer home built in 2015. Now that's only 6 years old or less. It was built for $316,000, and now it's for sale for $449,000. Another one sold in 2021. That's just 4 months ago.
Right.
It was bought, and it's been up for sale again. It was bought for $735,000. And they want $774,900. You know what they're trying to do there? They're trying to get that realtor fee after they sell it back and break even.
Yeah.
They're trying to break even on that house.
Yeah.
There's a villa that was $200,000 back in 2012, 9 years ago. It's for sale now for $397,000.
Wow.
Of course, we don't know. Did they upgrade their kitchen?
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
whatever. But
right.
$200K to basically $400K in 9 years.
Woo.
And there's a townhome listed, was sold in 2020 for $315,000. That's just a year or less ago. Mm-hmm. And it's listed for $329,900 there. And again, that's probably someone trying to get their realtor fee back when they sell it. So I'll tell you, I have heard that a lot of the home purchases now are going for above the asking price.
Yeah.
They're in bidding wars on some of these homes. Here's a good question, and we put my assistant to work on this one.
I wonder why I had to do it.
You know those tunnel rats in Vietnam? Those they pick the littler fella to go into those Viet Cong tunnels to see what's down there. That's what we have to do in our attic, because I bumped my head up there, and somebody else is just the right size to walk around. So let's take a look up in our attic, and you'll get an idea.
Here's where we get into the attic. It's just right here by the back door, and we use this pull-down rope. Give it a little pull, and then we got these steps. Sometimes it bounces back a little. You got to watch that. There you go. Okay, ready? And I like this one because it has a little handle. And there's a light switch right here, which is a big help. We've got a lot of things stored up here, and it's pretty much around the edges. We got a really nice floor, plywood floor that was put down before we got here, which was really wonderful. And we keep our totes and our Christmas and our seasonal things in big totes. So we have a lot of room, really. And if you notice the ceiling, Jerry's going to tell you a little bit more about that. It's a little dangerous because there are roofing nails in it, and you do not want to stand up too tall. And of course you can see underneath the eaves the air ducts for the air conditioning, and there's quite a bit of insulation. And then that goes up underneath the eaves down there by the front garage. So you do see a little bit of air light or sunlight. But it does get pretty daggone hot up here. And I can stand up. I'm standing up right now as tall as I am. And that's in the center of the garage. And it's just over your garage. It's not attic all through the whole house. And then we have a little bit of a plywood piece right here to get on, to get to the stairs. There's the rest of the house back there. And I'm going to turn around so you can see the area that we have. Dog carrier. And then this is the area we go back down. And you'll have to turn around to go down and hang on. It is a little bit scary to get up in here. Close it. Voila.
Well, there it is. You've seen our attic. We are heavily insulated in our ceiling, above our lanai, above the home, above the garage, all insulated. But there's that 12 by 12 pad up there that's not insulated because it's been reinforced, and we keep our stuff.
And then tell them about that vapor barrier, the silver stuff. What is that?
That is a radiant barrier.
Yeah.
It prevents all your cell phone signals and your satellite and stuff from coming in your house. So it makes you use the Wi-Fi on your phone.
Yeah.
But the real job for that is to keep the heat from the sun out. It does a pretty good job. Mm-hmm. But man, it gets hot up in the attic.
It does.
Now, some people want to know what you can store up there. You know, we are told not to store anything that's rubber or plastic up there.
Right. They said don't put your Christmas candles up there. No, they'll melt. I was surprised that I moved a suitcase one day and the wheels kind of disintegrated. So there was a big, giant overseas suitcase. Remember, we used to have those a long time ago. Well, I've stored some stuff in there, and the wheels are now crumbling. So I think it gets mighty hot up there.
It does. And you know, when you're up there, if it's dark, if you don't turn the light on, you can see a lot of light
Yes.
Now, anywhere you can see light through there, I think the little bugs can come through. There are little
I've
vents.
never seen bugs in.
Because we treat the house for
Okay.
insects.
Okay.
But a lot of people suggest don't put any cardboard boxes in your attic because I don't know if they attract bugs, but when bugs come through and they somehow smell the glue in the cardboard,
Right, that's
and they
what I
want to
heard.
chew a little bit. So anyway, thank you for getting up there. That's
you're
really a
so
help.
welcome.
Isn't she a game one?
I'm so glad I'm short.
Thank you, Gary, for the question about the attic. Laurie says, you've mentioned that you have one car and 2 golf carts. I imagine occasionally you both need the car. When that happens, are there ride-sharing companies such as Lyft or Uber that service the villages? We know that there are some private transportation companies that do service here, but they're more for rides to the airport, and there are also medical transport services here as well.
Right.
But I decided to see what it would cost here to go from our house to Brownwood. Let's take a look at the printout on that. You can see the map and you can see the total. That's over $15. That's an expensive trip for basically a 3-mile ride.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say you wanted to go to Sumter Landing. I'm not paying that kind of money to go up to Sumter Landing. And if you need to go to the hospital, it could be a $35 to $50 charge to take Uber that 10-mile trip from here up to the village's hospital. So it looks to be quite expensive here in the villages. Part of it may be that there's not that great a demand, so they don't make as many trips and pick up as many passengers, and to keep it going they need to charge extra. But with Uber and Lyft, I don't think you tip. I think that the bill is the bill, and you pay that before you take the ride. So, yep, they're here. They're a little expensive. Paul has a question. I'll take this one because it deals with golf. I think Paul has done some research, and he's a little upset because why only 9 holes? Executive is scheduled in 9-hole increments. If she and I wanted to play next Tuesday, we could go online and we could set it all up for 9 holes, not for 18. Impossible to set up 18 holes on the same day unless somebody knows another way around it. Anytime I try to schedule 2 in one day, it says, you are already scheduled to play this day, and we can't do it. 9 holes is the max. Why is that? Well, Paul, it is hard to get a tee time. In November, December, January, February, March, and April, if you tried today to get a tee time for 2 or 3 people, it's going to be tough. If you're a single, you might be able to work in where there's a cancellation or there might be a tee time here or there, but if they allowed one person to take up 2 tee times in a day, that would make it even worse.
Yeah.
So that's the thinking behind it. Now, can you play 18? You sure can. If you get finished playing, you go right back to the starter shack and say, do you have any more openings? I'd like to play again. If there is an opening, they'll put you right in there. If there's one an hour later, you'll have to wait. If there's one 2 hours later, you'll have to decide, do you want it? But you can play, and you can call any of the courses on the day of play to see if they have an opening, even if you've already played. But you can't schedule 2. Does that make sense? I don't think you're ever going to be able to schedule 18 holes on an executive, ahead of time.
This question is from Carla. She wants to know how and where did you all meet? She must be from the South. Y'all meet in high school or college? And I can start that. We met in high school. We had a friend that...
we had a bunch of multiple friends that were,
friends.
what do you call them? Not multiple friends. Mutual.
Mutual. And we had multiple friends. No, but we had mutual friends.
I only had the one.
Jerry only had one friend. No. And he brought Jerry to my house. And I have a twin sister, as you know. And I had a pool table in the basement. And they like to come over.
All right. You don't have to go all into it. No, you're giving away too much information out there now.
Oh.
But I will say that we not only went to high school together. I'm the same age, but I was a year older.
Does that make sense?
Smart.
No.
Truth is, when I was 5, My parents kicked me into first grade because they couldn't stand having me in
They
the house.
said, go to school, kid.
So I'm her age, but I'm a year ahead of her in school. And when I graduated, I hung around waiting for her so we could both go to college together.
So sweet.
The rest is history. We'll have our 43rd anniversary this year in July, if we make it that far.
So we've known each other for about 50 years.
Yeah, here's a picture. This is one of the very earliest pictures of us together.
Oh, that's sweet.
It is. Theo. That's a cool name.
I like it.
Theo.
Theodore, right?
Yeah. I have a grandson with a middle name Theodore. And she does too.
Yeah.
We both do. What are the chances of that? Theo writes, this is the classic question for the day. If you've stayed tuned this long, you're going to hear a pretty cool question right here. Friends of ours that recently retired to Florida told us that iguanas are taking over their neighborhood.
Oh my.
They're leaving droppings in their pool. They're eating all the flowers and they're biting their pets.
No.
But here's the good part of it. Does the villages allow homeowners to shoot iguanas that wander onto their property?
Yeah, everybody's got the guns out, right?
Now, you can't shoot the iguanas.
No.
Theo, there are no iguanas in the villages. We're too far north.
Right.
It gets too cold here in the winter. I know you've heard about the ones that get cold when they have those strange, rare cold snaps down there, and they freeze up in the trees and they fall out of the trees.
And they fall.
Yeah. I like iguanas. I would never shoot one, but there are none here, even if I wanted to.
This is from Chris and Ken. Tell us more about the bear that you had in your yard. Are bear or alligator encounters common? Well, this was just like only, 3 or 4 months after we moved in. I took Gizmo outside and he was just kind of sniffing all around the yard. This was early, about 7 o'clock. And came back inside and go, Jerry, his fur was all up and he was just sniffing all over the yard. And I thought he's gone to a trail or something. So we came in and we do have a driveway cam and we looked at the footage and we said, oh my goodness, what is that creature in the driveway? And we had no idea.
Yeah, he walked all the way down our driveway and up a neighbor's driveway. After that, he was seen dozens of times in the villages.
Yeah.
And people took pictures and posted them.
Yeah.
I wanted to show you the picture in our driveway, but I couldn't find it.
No, it was a
So
skinny,
sorry about that.
scrawny bear.
Yeah, it wasn't a big beast of a bear, but
He was hungry. He was looking for Gizmo.
we haven't seen any more. We have heard a report or two that somebody saw some. But as far as alligator encounters, well, we heard the one yesterday about somebody's digging a pool.
Yeah.
And when they got up in the morning and went outside, an alligator had slid into the hole that the workers had dug for the pool.
Right.
And they had to call and have it removed. It was a big one. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, I guess.
But on the subject of bears, since we couldn't show you the one in our driveway, I just can't find that file. That's the trouble with Digital World, by the way. When you have the paper pictures, you know where they are. You put them up, they're in the album. When you have a digital file, is it on this computer or the one that went bad 2 years ago? Or is it on that thumb drive somewhere? Or where is it? I can't find it. And it's just a number, so you can't really find it by searching for bear unless you've labeled it. But
Right.
anyway, I'm going to show you this picture. Now, this is true. Back in high school, just at the time when I was trying to impress this young lady,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
a buddy of mine and I went to the state fair where they had a famous wrestling bear. And we were there and they said, is anybody going to wrestle Victor the wrestling bear? That's his name. Look him up. You can look him up. Nobody volunteered. It was a big old bear. So my buddy and I were stupid and we volunteered. So we wrestled him. Yeah. And we got done and of course he crushed us both. And we knew nobody would believe this. We just wrestled a bear.
Yeah.
And that's why I say wrestle.
Yeah.
So we asked a friend that was a photographer, said, could you go back the next night? We went back the next night and we wrestled that bear again. And she got some pictures for us. And here's a picture of me wrestling that bear.
Well, that's going to do it for
Mailbag Monday.
Thanks again to everybody that wrote in with questions. You'll see the address in the description of this video. It's Villages Newcomers. There it is, right there, at gmail.com. And you can send us your question.
Please press that like and subscribe button.
Yes, do, because we just went over 32,000 yesterday.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, we love that. So
We
thank
love
you guys.
All of you. Until next time.
See you when you get here.